So truthful people will maintain eye contact, but deceptive people will break eye contact. So, can you really trust eye contact? Hi, Stan Walters with you. Welcome to episode number 36. Kind of revisiting this eye contact myth again. Some folks seem to have a difficulty understanding that there's no correlation here. Now, when I show you some of the data, I'd explain some of this to you about the research, and this is still getting into our academies. I'll still hear this in the classroom from students saying this is what they're taught. If this is making it into your academy training with the absolute lack of scientific report, makes me wonder what else could be slipping in. All right, so eye contact. So the theory was that truthful people will maintain eye contact because they have nothing to hide. They're going to be honest with you. So it's supposed to be a positive sign. But a deceptive person will in some way, some form, break eye contact with you. So this has been a long-term thing that's taught for a good at least 50 years as a tool for spotting deceptive person. Now, this is an analysis, or it's an assumption that's proven incorrect. Research on this, folks, is overwhelmingly wrong. The research showed there is no correlation. In fact, in one test, over 1,100 plus responses, people being truthful, what they could prove a truthful statement, and people being deceptive, they could tell no difference. There was absolutely no difference between a truthful person eye contact and deceptive person. There was truthful people at times who had broke eye contact. There were deceptive people who sometimes maintained eye contact. The number for the deviation or the difference is 0.01. That's, in other words, virtually zero. There is no correlation with eye contact being truthful or breaking eye contact being deceptive. So again, here we are, we're wasting a lot of our cognitive load looking at signals that have absolutely no bearing, have no reliability, and we're making decisions about a subject which then causes confirmation bias in the mind of the interviewer. Because well, he has to be lying, now I'm going to go after him for it. So take a look. Now, I'm going to put in the bottom here, take a look at the research when Bella DePaulo did initial research on this many years ago, but it keeps showing up in the academy. So if you hear this, you need to be auditing the lesson plans and the instructors who are teaching these myths and perpetuating them in the room, which is setting you up, because when it comes time for the court, who's going to wind up testifying? The instructor who to protect you, or you the one who used the tactic? Think about that. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified each week. Episodes come out every Tuesday at 9 o'clock, so you got episode 37 next week. We'll talk a little bit more about some body language myths that seem to never want to die. And just remember, what happens in the interview room echoes in the courtroom. Be safe. I'll see you next week.